Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm going on vacation to the Poconos, so I have a lot of reading that I'm planning to do. It's only a 3-day trip because I didn't want to take too many days off work, so I have to set my expectations a little lower for how much I'm actually going to read. So I'm bringing 3 books. My plan originally was to only bring 2, but I actually haven't finished my first book that I'm reading. Chimkin, 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 chimkin. I know it's really dark in this corner, but the lights aren't in an aesthetically pleasing way, so I can't really record with good lighting. I'm really sorry. Hello, we finally made it to the Poconos. We got to the cabin that we're staying in. It's really pretty. I recorded some like B-roll and stuff of it. I brought along 3 books with me because I have big dreams and goals and aspirations for this 3-day trip. I have never been able to read books that fast, but power to me, you know? Maybe higher dreams have higher accomplishments. For the past few days, I've been reading I Hope This Doesn't Find Me by Anne Lind, and oh my god, I am loving this. As someone who's always like, sad books, dark academia, and like, I really limited myself on what I could read, so recently that I've been allowing myself to read more romance. This is like crazy to me. Will give you the pitter-patter of your heart, like the, It feels like reading fan fiction when I was 13, but like before you realize that the writing's awful, because the writing is good in this, but it has that like feeling, that type of conflict, that type of like, oh my god, I just want them to get together. It's so good. So this is an academic rival story. There is this girl, Sadie Lynn, and she is at the top of her class along with Julius Gong. Yeah, Julius Gong. They're pretty much tied for everything at the top, so they're always trying to compete with each other ever since like elementary school. Sadie tries to be like this really perfect student, try to be the best in sports, academics, and be everyone's friend, like do everything perfect. But you know, a girl still has to vent. That's okay. Everyone needs to maybe journal, diary, something. She doesn't do that. She writes all of the anger that she experiences that she can't express into her emails and drafts the emails, but one day all of them get sent out, including hundreds of emails supposed to be sent to Julius. Honestly, I feel like the synopsis doesn't even sound as good as I think the book is. At this point, I think it will be a 5-star book, which is pretty hard for me to rate a book 5 stars, being completely honest. I give a lot of books 4, but like 5? 5's kind of pushing it, so like... So I'm about 200 pages in. I think it's a 300-page book, so I'm hoping that maybe I can finish it tonight, because we're having like a lazy night, slow dinner, and then we're gonna wake up super early for the hike tomorrow. So I'm hoping I can finish this tonight. I've been annotating it too, so it's taking a little longer. Maybe I'll record me reading some. Also, room rating, this bed. Oh, it's really comfy. It's actually so cute. It's got little deer on it. We saw 4 white-tailed deer when we first came into the house, which was really cool. It was really cute. Good morning. It's pretty cold outside. I only really packed shorts. Last night, I finished this book. It is so good, but I don't know if I have enough time to talk about it. But this book, oh my god. I was up till like midnight reading because I was trying to go to bed at like 10. I went to bed at midnight because I couldn't stop reading. We got back from our hike and we've been chilling out, so I've had time to read. On the hike I was listening to the audiobook for When the Wolf Comes Home, and honestly, this is like the weirdest book I've ever read. I've been trying to get into more horror books lately, and I saw that Curtis Carter, the comedian YouTuber, he posted on a story that his sister recommended the book and that it was really good. So I went into it completely blind, and it's so very odd, I must say. At first I really just assumed that the story was about like fathers and abuse being like manifested into monsters in being the wolf, and I think that is kind of the point as well, but also like there's superpowers and stuff, which is like kind of cool. It takes place in LA. We follow this lady. She does overnights at a local restaurant in LA, and during one overnight some guy messes up their bathroom, so she goes to clean it up and notices that she got pricked by a needle, which could be laced with anything, could have any diseases on it, so she starts freaking out. On her way home to her apartment, she's freaking out so much she forgets her phone, she forgets everything. She's trying to go to the hospital, but she ends up at home. And when she comes home, she hears noises outside, her two crazy neighbors, and a naked man, along with a child lost in her bush. She brings the kid inside, and suddenly there's this wolf monster that attacks all of them, killing everyone basically. And like now to the point where I am in the book, like they're getting followed by the police and stuff. It's really crazy, but I'm preferring this book that I'm reading. The Story Might Save Your Life. I'm loving it. I'm reading the physical copy along with the audiobook on Spotify. Both When the Wolf Comes Home and The Story Might Save Your Life are both included with premium on Spotify. I pay extra for the extra hours of Spotify. The story follows two friends who do a podcast together about like a comedy survival show about what ifs, like what if you encountered quicksand, and one of them will research it and then the other will have to say what they think they would do in that situation. But then one day one of the best friends goes missing, and the other friend is trying to piece together any clues that she left over to see if he can solve his own best friend's disappearance. And I would really recommend listening to the audiobook because obviously it's a podcast, so there's a bunch of podcast elements added, along with there's extra content in between some chapters. They'll play like audience opinions kind of about how the friend is missing and like random tips and stuff. And also any flashbacks to scenes is like acted out. It's dual POV, so the guy and the girl will both act out as if it's like a real podcast, which is really cool. I have finished this book, obviously, because I'm back. I read this book pretty quickly. I think it only took me like 4 days to read, but oh my god, it's so good. So good that when I was still reading it, my boyfriend went to the library to try to grab his own copy because he wanted to finish the book too for his own eyes. There are so many cute scenes and so many just like amazingness in this book, and I love it so much. It's so cute. This was a 5-star book off the bat. Like, oh, this is my first 5-star book in a while. I had just finished Love Interest by Claire Gilmore, and that was a 4.75, which is basically a 5 at that point, but like it dragged a little bit, and I could tell that this is a real 5. That one was not a 5, because I feel like it's a very different feeling in your heart that you get depending on the book. And coming back from the vacation, I didn't actually finish this book, but I'm pretty close. I plan to try to finish it either today or tomorrow, and it is really good and captivating. I would definitely recommend listening to the podcast. The book is dual POV, which I didn't know going into it. I usually don't really love dual POV, but it's pretty good with this book because most of the dual POV, at least in the first part of the book, is from the girl who's missing's memoir and then her best friend co-host that's trying to find her and stuff. So you get to see like the past and the present, which really is nice because there's a lot of people like kind of like holding secrets that you don't really find out till a little bit further into the book that you get some explanation with along as you go. I think that, is that a spoiler? There is a certain relationship in this book that is done so well as like a slightly toxic abusive relationship that it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm just gullible, but I couldn't really see it in the beginning, and I feel like it does so well to just like aggravate you as you get further into the book, because you're like, why the fuck are they saying, like, oh my god. I think it's written so well. I'm pretty sure this is Tiffany Crumb's debut novel, which is crazy because the pacing and the character is really good in this. I feel like I usually hate dual POV, especially if it's in 2 different timelines, because half the time you're really interested in one POV and you don't want to know anything from the other one, and obviously you're going to be more interested in the POV where he's trying to find her. But sometimes, like, the past is really interesting, and she'll just stop for the other guy, and he's, like, still looking. It's like, I wanted to know what was happening, but I feel like it does do good to keep your attention throughout the novel. I haven't finished it yet, so I actually don't know how this ends, but I'm loving it.
Alright, update. I finished the book now, and I rated it a 5 stars as well, so we got a double 5-star from this trip. Honestly, like, after I finished the book, I was grieving a podcast that doesn't even exist. Like, you get a bonus chapter of their first podcast episode. Like, I wish I could listen. I love their dynamic, and I wish I could listen to it, and like, I'm just grieving a podcast that doesn't even exist.